John Westfall, Dan Carter back here for the last time tonight in downtown Mankato, where it was a playoff intensity kind of a contest here. As Minnesota State Mankato, they dropped their home opener this year. They only have lost 3 times in the past 2 years here in the home ice, and they're going to lose this one by a score of 3-2, but they're taking on one of the better teams we're probably going to see in the building all year. MSU coming in ranked 6th in the country. Nebraska-Omaha ranked 10th, and it was Nebraska-Omaha jumping out to the 3-0 lead. And Dan, as you mentioned, all of a sudden with the coach, Mavericks picking up the intensity, got a little more physical play to try to slow down that team, and unfortunately tonight just kind of ran out of time in the comeback. I mean, literally in the last 15 seconds, a couple of great looks down low, they just couldn't get the equalizer.
This is a non-conference game. Can you imagine what the conference season is going to be like if this is the non-conference schedule?
Well, this was the game they should have played last year to go to the national championship.
Absolutely, and it didn't happen, but holy cow, what an effort by the Mavericks, getting down 3-0. Be pretty easy to just lick your wounds and say we're going to come back tomorrow night. They did not do that. They scored twice to get back in it, and multiple opportunities. Bryce Gervais, Teddy Bluger, I mean, they had C.J. Franklin. They had guys who had opportunities to get this thing tied up. It just didn't happen.
Breakaway, shorthanded efforts, it just didn't happen. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of tonight's game. And again, all the way back in the first period play, Mavericks of MSU got out really slow, and they paid for it here with a couple of quick goals.
Jake Randolph from Parizek and Snookerud at 4:34 the first period makes it 1-0 Omaha. And you get a nice look at the second goal from Jake Gensel. Gensel takes a drop pass back near the circle, and he makes it 2-0 from Austin Ortega and Frederick Olofsson. So it's 2-0 at 18:22 of the first period of play, and that's where we stood after 1 period of play.
Yeah, then it was all of a sudden here early in the second, it became 3-0 as it's going to be this follow-up goal. Ortega, just so much speed tonight.
Austin Ortega just lightning quick from Brian Cooper at 53 seconds of the second period to make it 3-0. And that was it for the evening for Omaha. That's all they would end up needing. But the Mavericks were not done. They're down 3-0. Jimmy Mullen, playing his first game for the Mavericks, gets his first goal in almost 2 years. He hadn't played college hockey in almost 2 years. From Sean Flanagan and Zach Steppen at 13:28 to make it 3-1, and then a backhander for C.J. Franklin at 15:23 from Clint Lewis and Casey Nelson. We're going to the stats, shots on goal, 26-25 MSU. Mavericks 1 for 5 on the power play, 0 for 3 for UNO. Penalties pretty much the same, but look at that face-off number, 40-24. Mavericks dominating face-offs. You do that all year long, you're going to be a very successful team.
And I would imagine, we don't have it right now, but I would imagine if you would take a look at also the shots attempted.
Yes.
Mavericks, it was like 52-26 after 2 periods play, and that differential even grew here in the third.
Well, to attempt against a good team 75-80 shots, which the Mavericks probably did tonight, that's impressive. They got a lot of shots off. Kirk Thompson made some pretty good saves. They got pretty lucky a couple of times too, and the Mavericks just unable to get that game tire, but heck of an effort tonight. They just can't afford to get down 3-0 to a really good team like this.
Play of the game, we're probably going to take a look at, I think, on that goal scored by C.J. Franklin. Mavericks had actually held the zone for an extended period. In fact, it got to the point where Thompson had lost his stick, so the Mavericks literally had 3 or 4 golden opportunities there. In our play of the game, JBL top 4 play of the game. Again, the goal here by Franklin. JBL top 4 play of the game. JBL Real Estate Group does little things that make the big difference.
You know, we get a look at that. He kick saved that first one with the left pad, and it goes right back to Franklin. Then he chops it in on the backhander to make it 3-2.
And that's unfortunately, while that goal came with about 5 minutes gone only in the third period of play, that was the goal, the difference, the 1-goal deficit the Mavericks for Minnesota State Mankato could not make up, and that's where they're going to lose the score tonight, again 3-2 to Nebraska-Omaha. We also have a chance here to take a look at some of the out-of-town scores around the WCHA in the Upper Midwest.
Bemidji and UMD not going to play tonight. Power outage up in Duluth, so they'll play in Bemidji tomorrow night. Bowling Green beats Ohio State 6-3. North Dakota over Lake Superior State 5-2. St. Cloud leading Alaska. Northern Michigan and Wisconsin tied 2. They have 6,000 people at the Kohl Center in Wisconsin tonight. A horrible crowd there. Western Michigan beats Ferris State 3-2. As we're looking at Arizona State playing their first game ever against Alaska Anchorage tonight. Connecticut and Alabama, Providence and Miami. Boston beats Army 5-1. Denver and Air Force tied at 3. And UMass Lowell over Rensselaer 3-0.
All kinds of scores.
Yes, we have them all.
Yes, indeed. But again, the most important score here back in Mankato, it was Nebraska-Omaha 3-2 winner. And the nice thing is we get to do this all again tomorrow night. I've got to urge you fans, because the Mavericks are going to be out of town now the next 2 weekends, at St. Cloud next weekend, followed by a trip to Bemidji State. And I can guarantee you, not speaking necessarily ill of the WCHA talent, You're going to see, this is one of the better teams we're going to certainly see this year in collegiate hockey. Granted, it's the first weekend of college hockey
It might be
action.
the best team that is in the building this year other than the Mavericks all season long.
But we need you down here tomorrow night because as the fans got into it, that definitely paid dividends as well for MSU Mankato.
The building, it was electric in here. It was just unbelievable. And the last minute, every person in this building standing up cheering for the team, and it was a lot of fun tonight, but the Mavericks come up just a bit short.
So we hope you are here, but if you can't make it to downtown Mankato tomorrow night, we know we got a lot of viewers on WCHA TV and around the state of Minnesota as well. If you can't make it here in person, we'll see you back here tomorrow night. Again, 7 o'clock, the pregame show. 7:07, the face-off from downtown Mankato, the Verizon Wireless Center, where it'll be Minnesota State Mankato taking on Nebraska-Omaha. The second of the two-game series. We'll see if the MSU Mavericks can come back. They dropped the opener tonight. 3-2 win tonight for Nebraska-Omaha over Minnesota State Mankato. Thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow night.